Lucia, do you know why you're here?
Bad luck, I guess.
2026 could have been the year of GTA 6 with barely anything else getting a look in, but thankfully if you're involved with literally anything else on this year's release schedule, it's been delayed until the end of the year and very possibly beyond. Hey, who knows, it might get cancelled altogether according to one particularly outrageous internet rumour. Unless someone's deliberately trying to short Take-Two Interactive stock price that game is gonna come out come hell or high water, but it's fun to imagine. Like, never mind that, 2026 promises an embarrassment of riches well beyond the realm of satirical driving simulators, and maybe some of you are sick of hearing about GTA already. Either way, I can promise you, no matter what kind of games you're into, this year is going to keep you plenty busy, assuming we don't all end up with sheet glass after an AI-driven nuclear holocaust, in which case I hope whichever secret billionaire bunker you're watching this in has good Wi-Fi and plenty of snacks, Jeff. Here are 10 games confirmed or believed to be coming this year that'll make you forget all about that other game with the driving and the crime. See, I've forgotten it already.
So, you want to know all about heroes, do you?
Fable. If you want to get people nostalgic about the mid-2000s, you could do a lot worse than hiring Richard Ayoade and Superhands from Peep Show to be in your highly anticipated Fable revival, which is what Playground Games have done, proving that while they're best known for arcadey driving sims, they absolutely understand the assignment when it comes to revitalising this classic Xbox series for a new generation of PlayStation owners. We don't know a great deal about Fable beyond the admittedly very promising footage they've shown in trailers. We don't even know if it's a reboot or not, but it certainly seems like all the right ingredients are there. The game is set in and around Bowerstone, the capital city of Albion, which is essentially meant to be the British Isles if fairy tales were real, and by that I mean fairy tales with actual fairies in them, not trickle-down economics. We've got swordplay, castles, satire, magical whimsy, mounts apparently. If there really could be a game to rival the unputdownable breadth of a Rockstar game, Fable is surely it. Assuming it actually comes out. I mean, Perfect Dark got cancelled and that seemed almost as nailed on as this a year ago. Yeah, I'm still bitter.
Look, calm down, will ya? Sit in the bath and have a Magnum.
For the first time ever, the Horizon Festival arrives in Japan.
Forza Horizon 6. And it'll be a busy year for Xbox Studios and Playground Games because they'll also be launching Forza Horizon 6, the latest entry in the celebrated open-world driving and supercar enthusiast simulator, which promises to take the action to Japan, a nation whose esteemed motoring heritage includes luxurious Lexuses, rallying giants Mitsubishi and Subaru, hot hatch high-performance peddlers Nissan and Toyota, and tons of boutique brands along with miles and miles of pristine highway cutting through some of the most gorgeous scenery on God's misty, mossy earth. You know what? This could be the best Forza Horizon yet, which would be a special thing indeed because there's never been a bad one.
I'd like to say I'm not a violent man. The trouble just has a way of finding me.
Marvel's Wolverine. From the streets of Japan to the streets of Japan. Set in the same universe as Insomniac's triumphant Spider-Man games, Marvel's Wolverine promises a globe-trotting adventure whose adamantium claws simply cannot be contained within the one city. We know that as well as Tokyo, Wolverine will get snicking around the Canadian wilderness, implying that we might get flashbacks or some kind of Weapon X-based origin story here, and the infamous pirate haven of Madripoor, Marvel's fictional island nation that's essentially Singapore with the libertarian gloves off, which might, we suspect, serve as the largest explorable location in a game that's not open world like its stablemate, but rather more set around a selection of smaller hub areas, like Deus Ex Human Revolution or something of that scale. Wolverine himself is wonderfully cast here with actor Liam McIntyre, most famous for playing Spartacus in one of the most unabashedly gory TV shows ever made. So he's on familiar ground here, playing a guy who is well good at violence and tired of being messed around by the man.
This city can be a bewildering place, full of strange sights and even stranger people.
Nivalis. We all love cutting about in futuristic cities. In fact, we've visited this one before in Cloudpunk, the rain-slick Blade Runner-style flying courier simulator that came out back in the lost year of 2020 and was quite genuinely one of the most compelling games of the time with its incredible atmosphere and gorgeous voxel-based graphics. Nivalis is a slice-of-life spin-off that returns us to the same location but with a new, more grounded focus on business management, relationships, exploration, and even a spot of fishing. Oh.
The continent of Pywell. A land soaked in blood,
Crimson Desert. Originally a prequel to Korean MMO Black Desert Online, but now spun off as its own ambitious single-player title, Crimson Desert looks like open world games The Game. It's got the low fantasy grit and investigative flair of The Witcher, the high fantasy sci-fi elements, floating islands and glider-based traversal of Tears of the Kingdom, the parkour and stealth action of Assassin's Creed. It may well turn out to be a case of too many cooks, but regardless, it's been very high on our wish list here for years now, and if anything is going to steal us away from the Floridian hedonism of a new Grand Theft Auto, it's this. Roadout. Looking like the most perfect Steam Deck game that ever Steam Decked, Roadout is an action RPG that looks to be a heady mix of classic Zelda, GTA, Enter the Gungeon and Hotline Miami, with rotatable sprite-based visuals that look 2D but are actually 3D, which is a neat trick. It's bold, brash, ambitious as hell, and if it's a tenth as good as the games that have inspired it, it'll be a grand old time. Replaced. Replaced is a fantastic looking 2.5D adventure platformer that has been subject to many years of delays since its first unveiling for lots of unfortunate reasons, but it's well on track for its planned March release and looks to be one of the most striking indies of the year, a potential sleeper hit if we ever saw one. Sad old people like me might be reminded of the old Delphine Software cinematic adventure games such as Flashback and Another World. In this, you play Reach, an AI trapped in a human body exploring an alternate 1980s USA scarred by nuclear war. Sounds rad. As in rads. As in radio... Never mind, forget it.
I need to become more than a man. I need to become a symbol.
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Legacy of the Dark Knight looks set to be one of those extra special LEGO games that sets itself apart from most of the others by being a damn good action-adventure game in its own right, like LEGO City Undercover or LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Set in an expansive open-world LEGO brick version of Gotham City and borrowing dozens of fan-favourite elements from every conceivable era of Batman in every medium, it promises to be a delightful greatest hits package of the caped twat. Wrapped up in a whimsical brick-based blancmange. Blancmange? Has someone been mucking about with my similes? Either way, Legacy of the Dark Knight looks great, and you'd have to be colder than Mr. Freeze's icy heart to not find that enticing.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
High on Life 2. The original game, as with all things in that sort of irreverent Rick and Morty mould, was an acquired taste, to put it mildly, but I think it's safe to say for many people, myself included, it was a pleasant surprise. What could easily have been a mid-as-hell first-person shooter with an annoying gimmick actually turned out to be an immersive, expansive, compelling sci-fi comedy with a lot of ambitious scope, almost obscured by its daft marketing, not to mention the talking guns that take up a third of the screen. High on Life 2 looks delightfully like more of the same with, like all the best video game sequels, the emphasis on more. More interactivity, more cool moves, more sense of place, just more everything. It's a bit like the goofier younger brother of The Outer Worlds, obsessed with skateboarding and Nerf guns. And, interesting fact, because the High on Life games cast you as a misplaced human bounty hunter making a meagre living in a strange alien galaxy, they are the closest thing we currently have to the cancelled sequel of 2006's incredible alien abductee first-person shooter Prey. I'm not joking, Google it. And for that reason alone, I can't wait to step back into its delightfully stupid world. Hey, can't be any stupider than the one I live in, where Prey 2 got cancelled.
Well, what are we waiting for?
007 First Light. Setting itself up as an origin story for a brand new take on James Bond. I'm not going to do that for the whole thing. 007 First Light from the Hitman world of assassination people could well be the most deeply immersive Bond game of all time. A globe-spanning action-adventure game full of bombast and action set pieces, but one that developers IO Interactive have talked a lot about the importance of pacing and allowing the intervening sections to breathe. In short, it seems like First Light will feature a blend of narrow prescribed action segments and more open, more sandboxy parts that play like a sort of Hitman Light, where a suave Bond can turn on the charm to get out of situations that Agent 47 would instinctively solve with instant maximum violence. Well, he is a bald guy, they're like that. You can scarcely think of a better marriage between license and developer. IO Interactive certainly have the chops to pull off an expansive Bond title with complex interactive systems that serve the story, thrilling combat segments, and a beautifully realised world to do it all in. So let's hope First Light doesn't turn out to be a burst shite. And that's just a smattering of the delights that await us in the rest of this year. We'll be there covering as much of it as humanly possible for you. So please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if there's any particular game you're looking forward to that we might have missed, hey, let us know in the comments. And Happy New Year from all of us at Eurogamer. Bye, see you later, bye.